Hey everybody, this is Dust for Dusted on Gaming with episode 5, match number 2 with Burn here in Modern. Much like Nikachu MTG, we're doing daily episodic matches with various decks, including Burn, Archlight Phoenix decks, Death Shadow decks, and Control decks here in Modern, mostly Blue, White, and Jeskai, but a little Blue-Red Breach thrown into the mix. A little bit of Blue Moon maybe someday. So, if you like what you're seeing on the channel, please consider subscribing, giving us a thumbs up, and leaving a comment down below. So right now we're on the drive to 500 subs. Right now I believe we're at 486. So my goal would be to get there by the end of the month, but I'd love to get to 500 subs by Grand Prix Cleveland this next weekend, Magic Fest Cleveland 2019, whatever they want to call it, which is a limited event. I unfortunately will not be in the main event, but I will be there for side events for at least Friday and Saturday. So mainly battling out in some Modern with Burn and Jeskai Control. So if you see me there, feel free to come up and say hi. I'll definitely be posting a picture or something on Twitter so you all can know who I am by then. Or I might be doing a meet and greet here in chat maybe Thursday night as a kind of thank you if we manage to hit 500 subs between now and then, which, it's a little bit of a stretch, trying to hit 14 subs over 2 or 3 days. But we could do it. Anyways, on to the deck. So, we've been playing some various Burn things. We've been playing Rakdos. We've been playing Gruul. We played Boros. People have been trying out Skewer the Critics, Light Up the Stage. And kind of the consensus has been that Skewer the Critics probably fits and Light Up the Stage, while still being experimented with, is not all that great results-wise in GPs and some other bigger events, etc. So this is basically a Boros build, eschewing Skullcrack in the main for Skewer the Critics, one of Lavamancer, 19 lands, sideboard, a couple of copies of Path to Exile, 3 copies of Rest in Peace for the graveyard decks, 2 Skullcracks to help prevent some life gain on the sideboard, 2 Searing Bloods, and Ensnaring Roaches for creature decks. But the big addition is Cindervines. So we have 1 Stomping Ground. Cindervines can come in against controlling decks, decks like Jeskai, decks like Blue-White that have a lot of non-creature spells they're casting, can come in against anything where you need a Destructive Revelry-esque effect. So, very flexible card. It's kind of like a lower-end Eidolon against your opponent's spells, and also a Destructive Revelry-esque effect. So, pretty solid, pretty flexible card. Haven't had a chance to bring it in yet. We've only played, obviously, 1 match, and that was against Titan Shift, which, generally speaking, is a pretty decent match for Burn. We were able to 2-0 it here this last match yesterday when you're seeing this. So, pretty solid matchup for Burn, although we can certainly lose in certain spots. Meta is kind of shifting in some interesting ways. Death Shadow and Phoenix decks are kind of popping up to the top, which overall that's pretty decent for Burn. But Dredge is kind of making a resurgence, had a pretty good weekend this past weekend. That, however, is not a good matchup for Burn. So, and there's a... Alright, so Archlight Phoenix decks, sure. Certainly a deck we want to test against some here. Just kind of passing here. Boros Charm's a little bit awkward here with no white mana right now, but fetching. Let's see if they fetch a mountain here. Looks like they might have a bolt. Which is ironic because the card that's going to deal them the most damage next turn is actually Swifty Spear here. So, opponent could have Thing in the Ice, could have an Archlight Phoenix style turn, like Manamorphose and the stuff could do it. If I were my opponent, I just would have bolted this, but maybe they don't have another bolt. Definitely a dangerous... Alright, that's a nice one. Generally speaking, they don't have any counter magic in the main deck, so I'm not really playing around anything here. And now that they are this low, I'm just going to go ahead and hit Boros Charm just to get maximum damage here. Wow. So that would deal them to 6. And then I guess they were kind of dead, but so arclight Phoenix, huh? A lot of different things we could bring in this matchup. We could bring in Path for Thing in the Ice and Phoenix. We could bring in Cinder Vines, both to hedge against their all the spells they're casting along with Eidolon. Could bring in potentially Ensnaring Bridge. Cards I'm not thrilled with in this matchup. Lavamancer is not fantastic. Blaze is okay, but not like great. Cindervines could be reasonable in some small numbers, but that requires us to fetch our third color. And I think especially on the draw, that might be a bit of a pipe dream. I think we'll try 2 copies of Cindervines and 2 copies of Path for Thing in the Ice. And then board out like 1 or 2 copies of Blaze here. Just get us down to 60. Like I said, I really haven't tried with Cindervines on the sideboard, so it's kind of an interesting dance. Because Cindervines can also give us an out to Dragon's Claw, which has been popping up in these Arclight Phoenix sideboards. Awkward. Alright, so it looks like they're Temur, actually. Which means they're even a little bit worse against burn. At least in terms of double arclight. That's kind of rough. Almost passed the turn there accidentally. Now if you want to bring back those arclights, it's going to cost you either some damage or some mana. So if they have bolt, they might want to bolt first. Okay, I guess they don't. Interesting. Kind of hand as you keep, friend. Just a naked Snapcaster. Yeah, that'll do it. Put them to 10 here. Can we kill them next turn? If we draw a... Wow. Life goes on. That's a little rough. Crackling Drake? Sure. I'm gonna say white source would be like optimal here. And a 9. Sure. Flashback looting. And we're going to get hit by 2 Phoenixes this turn. At least 2 Phoenixes. 3 Phoenixes. Alright, so we're basically dead here. just dead. We can't... I mean, theoretically, we can Helix one of these, go to 1, but then we're really too far off of killing them, so... Alright, so they are the Temur version. I think these Cinder Vines are just too cute in this matchup. Bridge, however, might be reasonable. And then... Are we interested in the Skull Cracks? I don't think so. It's usually a 2 or 3 out of that build, so it's like, do I want to bring in my 2 of to try to combat their 2 of? Probably not. Seems pretty decent. Land out of it, sure. You have no choice but to attack with this, so... Opponent really gets nothing out of it, per se. I'm just going to lead on Lightning Helix here, because if they have Spell Pierce and they want to cash that in, rather they do it against the less efficient spell. Let's hold up Boros Charm here. I'll grab Breeding Pull here, probably. Yep. Targeting themselves. Go Spell Piercer Dispel, that's going to grab it, yep. Sure, thinking the ice is whatever here. I think we're in pretty good shape here, as long as we don't run into... Like, if they have to go really heavy on spells this turn. Puts them to 11, puts them to 8. Very scary situation for us. Okay. People concede way too early sometimes. I mean, yeah, theoretically they were dead to just about anything, but we could have had a land in hand plus whatever. I don't know. I'll take a win, I guess. So 2-0 so far in this league. We've beat Temur, Phoenix, and Titan Shift. So off to a pretty good start here. This has been Dust for Dusted on Gaming. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.